I'd like to thank the Raising Phoenix Awards for tonight and sharing this platform with all the finalists. It's definitely a night of hope and inspiration. So I'm just going to share a little bit about me, how I got here today. And it starts being alone on Christmas morning 2014, coming off the heels of a 17-year marriage, in bed staring at the ceiling, missing my 3 daughters. Singing happy birthday to my mentor of 25 years. I walked to go make a cup of coffee and I just fell down to my knees and just say, God, you gotta take this thing over, man. I'm done. I completely surrender and let go. And then I got up to make the cup of coffee and I heard this voice. The voice that I've heard hundreds of times, thousands of times, say right. And I had no idea what that meant. I picked up a pen and went to this yellow notepad and automatically came out book, radio show, and blog. I just stared at it and didn't know what it meant. I went and grabbed my yoga mat and went to the yoga studio for class. And we started off the class what's known as in the humble warrior position. And as I went in the humble warrior position like this, I sobbed and released the death of a marriage, the life that I thought I was going to have. And I died on the mat that day, part of me. And then when we did on the other side of the flow, in the humble warrior position, I felt this love and comfort and a warm blanket come over me. And it was the same feeling I had 20 years early when I was about to take my life from a 5-year gambling problem. And that's when God came in my life 20 years ago. So I knew I was in the presence of God. I knew I was in the presence of sacred space. And as it continued to flow, we end in a pose what's known as Shavasana. And that's when you're just laying on your back in a meditative state. And I heard that beautiful voice say, you now have the name of your book, radio show, aka podcast, and blog. Call it Humble Warrior, and do this to heal, grow, and share. It took me a while to process it. And after a couple months, I reached out to a dear friend of mine, John, and just shared this story that I'm sharing with you. 24 hours later, we took a ride up to Ann Arbor, met my friend Sarah, and said, Sarah, I want to write a book, but I don't know how. And that's what's been going on for 2 years. We've done 60, I think, episodes of the Humble Warrior podcast. The book has been maybe one of the hardest things I've ever done, and looking to get published in late spring. But what it's done is, see, I've been hiding something for over 20 years. That cost me my marriage, that cost me friends and relationships, is that I kept the love of God to myself and didn't share it with anybody, and was selfish. And I had to lose everything to almost gain everything back. And that is really the message that I'm going to keep talking about for the rest of the days as I walk here on earth. That listening to that voice, that's the voice of God. And that's, God speaks from the heart. And so when I hear Leanne Campbell and everybody else in their stories, that is just God speaking. We all have a piece of God in us, and that's why we're connected. Because God is in each one of us. And that's what keeps me going. To know that we're all connected. Honestly, I say I love everybody. You're all my brothers and sisters. We got the same blood. We're from the same place. I'm just honored and so grateful to be part of it tonight. Amen.